Smith and Nelson in the morning on 94.9 KYSS FM. What they tweet, what they do, it's what's making news in the world of country music. This is the Music City 60 on 94.9 KYSS FM.
Yes, it is, and some sad news yesterday. In an interview yesterday on Good Morning America, Ashley Judd confirmed that her mom, Naomi Judd, actually took her own life. She passed away on April 30th. The family didn't want to disclose the details at the time, but it's one of those things that will eventually get out, so they decided to address it now. So she talked to Diane Sawyer about it, described the disease of mental illness that damaged her mom and all that kind of stuff. So she's encouraging anyone who needed help to reach out to friends and family, and if necessary, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Pretty sad that you have to do that because you know the details are going to come out. People start talking and having their own, stories that maybe aren't even true.
Yep.
It's kind of a bum deal there.
It really is, yeah.
Carly Pearce, Ashley McBride, #1 song in country music with Never Wanted to Be That Girl. Ashley McBride says, hey, first times only happen once, and I'll always remember it. I was in Leeds, England when I got the news. So she's doing kind of a tour and kind of got tipped off. Hey, #1.
There you go.
And that's her first one.
Not bad.
She says,
pretty cool.
Yeah, she says, I always loved that Carly and I got to ride this rocket of a song together. Always loved that she and I trusted each other and ourselves to be brutally honest when we wrote it. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that. Ashley McBride, by the way, coming to the Wilma.
Oh, yes.
End of September.
In September, of course. Yesterday we talked about Florida-Georgia line and how, they're saying, we may actually be done. Speaking of, Tyler Hubbard's first solo single is called 5'9". It's out next week. May 20th is the release date for it.
That didn't take long.
No, it did not.
We had the story about an interview the other day. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see where things go. We got some music in the works.
Yep.
Here's the music.
Here's my first song.
And now you're in the know with Nashville. Smith and Nelson's Music City 60, 94.9 KYSS FM. It's newsy and noteworthy, and it's now on 94.9 KYSS FM.
Yes, it is. What's newsy and noteworthy for your morning, and the next Mega Millions drawing is tonight. Hopefully they get it right this time, because the last drawing did not. The guy who announces each number read one of them wrong last week. He said the Mega Ball was a 6. It was actually a 9. Understandable mistake, to be fair, but usually isn't there like a line underneath or something so you can tell which one's which? But yeah, the graphic they put up on the screen also said 6, caused a big headache for lottery officials. So luckily, they checked their system. No one would have won the jackpot anyway.
Oh, good.
There were no tickets with all 5 winning numbers and the Mega Ball number 6 or 9.
Can you imagine watching it live and you did have that number and then,
That would have been rough. But a handful of people would have won $10,000 prizes with the six numbers, and thousands of others would have won smaller amounts. It's played in 45 different states.
That's not bad, but man, a big jackpot.
Definitely. Ugh. So it doesn't sound like they're paying out the people with 6s. Still not really clear, but that's tonight's jackpot worth an estimated $99 million.
Whew. New study by the University of Washington says mosquitoes prefer biting people that wear red, orange, and black. They studied mosquitoes, found they zero in on those particular colors. One of the professors says one of the most common questions he gets is, what can I do to stop mosquitoes from biting me? He says there used to be 3 things that would attract mosquitoes: your breath, your sweat, and then the temperature of your skin. In the study, it says they found the 4th one now being the color red. Kind of goes on with some boring details.
Right.
Then it also says one of the things you could do is wear clothes that cover your skin, that give off kind of that natural red color. And the way to avoid being bit, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. A court has ruled that calling men bald is a form of sexual harassment. That happened in the UK. A panel of judges said that using the word bald to describe someone is a form of discrimination, and it's sexual since hair loss is more common among men than women. The case was about a man whose supervisor at work insulted him by calling out his baldness, and the guy argued that the remarks about his appearance crossed the line. The court agreed they weren't just insults. One note, though, all 3 judges on the panel do suffer from hair loss.
It's like, what do you use? There's got to be a term then. You got to come up with some sort of a term to describe it.
Right, yeah. I mean, granted, the guy's supervisor should have been like, you're bald. You're like insulting him in that way.
Well, sure,
but,
right.
Still, it's maybe a little bit overreaction, I think.
Interesting. Today being Friday the 13th, if you have any fears, well, Thomas Rhett is right there with you. He says, I have a few strange ones. I don't know if they're really that strange, but they are intense. He says, I really don't like spiders at all. I can handle a small one. Anything a little bit bigger than that, I can't deal with it. I don't like roaches either. I don't like to be in the dark by myself. And he says usually he sleeps with the TV on anytime he has to sleep by himself.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. Some of the the fears that drive Thomas Red.
On Wednesday, Minnesota Twins pitcher Yenier Cano took the mound to make his major league debut, and he proceeded to make history by not doing anything. I guess he threw a few warm-up pitches and then looked at his catcher for a sign, stepped in the rubber before he could throw his first official pitch. Lightning flash and a rain delay was called, and the game was never restarted.
Oh, wow.
So he became the only the second player in Major League Baseball history to be an official pitcher of record without throwing even a single pitch to
crazy.
an opponent. Which the story behind the first one was Larry Yount, 1971, took the mound for the Houston Astros. He injured his elbow during his warm-up pitches and had to be taken out.
Oh, man.
Ended up being his only Major League appearance. His brother is Hall of Famer Robin Yount.
Never pitched again, never played.
Never pitched again.
Never got an official stat for a pitch thrown in his career.
I need to know the whole story behind Larry Yount.
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. All right, final one. It says a woman in Texas scammed out of $800,000 by someone pretending to be Leonardo DiCaprio online.
Wow.
Story says that Leo claimed he was trapped by the Church of Scientology and he needed help escaping. So over the course of 4 years, she kept sending the guy money. She said, we developed a relationship. He always insisted that I call him Leo. They break down the story and say, by the way, DiCaprio is not a Scientologist.
Right.
To start with. FBI is investigating. They say it's unlikely that the lady will ever get her money back.
This sounds like the kind of grift that Leonardo DiCaprio would do in The Wolf of Wall Street, actually.
Imagine having $800,000 disappear. Your life savings is gone.
Just gone. I mean,
you just kept filtering it out. Paying someone online.
Leonardo DiCaprio is not going to randomly email you. That's so nuts.
I just don't know how some of these things happen sometimes. All right, newsy and noteworthy for your morning. There it is. It's KISS.
The Atlanta for the Luke Combs Stadium Show. Mr. Luke Combs.
Hey, this is Luke Combs. Still be doing this if I wouldn't do it.
With Cody Johnson and Morgan Wade. Want to win? Text the contest code words at 820, 1020, 120, and 420. And then enter them on the app. Let's go! Grand prize winner gets tickets for them and a friend. Airfare, hotel, and $500. Get more info and contest rules on our app. Sponsored by Sony Music Nashville and by
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM.
We brush our teeth in.
Smith and Nelson in the morning, 94.9 KISS FM with your first Luke Combs code word coming up right around 8:20 this morning. That, of course, your chance to fly away, see Luke Combs in concert in Atlanta. Not only tickets to the show, airfare is provided, hotel, you get some spending money. It's a good deal just for entering a couple of code words.
It really is.
All right, 8:20 for your first one of the day. Let's see what's going on here today. Another Brewfest.
It is a good month of Brewfests in Missoula, especially over at Caras Park, because that's where they're happening. Last week was the Garden City Brewfest. Like we said, next week is going to be the Bacon and Beer Brewfest.
Yeah.
And today, actually, is the Backcountry Brewfest.
Which goes from 5 until 9, Caras Park. And if you're not familiar with Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, they're the one that's putting it on. They kind of have like a weekend of stuff, and the Brewfest is part of it.
Right.
It says it's an organization dedicated to conservation and seeks to ensure North America's outdoor heritage of hunting and fishing in a natural setting through education and work on behalf of wild public lands, waters, and wildlife.
All right.
So if that's not worth toasting a few beers to,
what is?
Save nature and water and wildlife, I don't know what is.
There you go. Tickets to the Brewfest today from 5 to 9 are $25. Include a 16-ounce stainless steel domestic outdoors cup for the first 2,000 people, plus 2 beer tickets. So, hey, that works out pretty good.
There it is. Bunch of breweries participating. We were looking through the list of all the Missoula ones.
Sure.
Good collection of them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read them because there's so many.
I mean, yeah, really.
Mentioned a couple, but.
Yeah, Conflux, Cranky Sam, Draftworks, Guild. There's a bunch. I mean, like you said, not going to read all of them, but there's a lot from Missoula and from the surrounding areas, too. It's not just Missoula.
All right. Backcountry Brewfest at Caras Park from 5 until 9 tonight. We have details with that. Open up your KISS FM mobile app. You'll find them there. Also want to mention this because Carousel and Dragon Hollow trying to get the word out that they're going to actually kind of close down Dragon Hollow tomorrow. So anybody, it's the weekend, anybody looking to go downtown, hang out, you're going to have the farmer's market going on. A lot of people, going to be people in town because of graduations at the university.
Yep.
They're trying to get the word out, hey, heads up, 12:30-ish, somewhere right around there. They're going to shut down Dragon Hollow, going to do some cleaning and some repair work with volunteers.
Okay.
Says they'll do it as fast as they can. Don't really give a time frame. I don't know if this is a 3-hour project or an 8-hour project.
I don't think they even know how long it's going to take.
But it says the goal is they're going to try and reopen Dragon Hollow as soon as they get the work completed.
Occasionally, you need to do some maintenance, to keep the park safe, up to date, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. But keep it in mind, especially I think for anybody that's maybe going to the market. The market goes till about 1.
Right.
So anybody that goes to the market thinks, we'll just we'll hang at the market. We'll go over. We'll play a little bit. They might be closing Dragon Hollow down kind of towards the end of the market. Again, with that story, you will find the details with your KISS FM mobile app.
49 KISS FM. Smith and Nelson's Odds and Ends on 94.9 KISS FM.
Yes, it is. Some odds and ends for your morning, and this is Spinal Tap is celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2024, so the band is getting back together for a sequel. They're doing Spinal Tap 2.
40 years.
Yeah. Spinal Tap 2 is happening with Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer all coming back, along with Rob Reiner as the documentary filmmaker from the original. All 4 of them are writing the script. I got the premise down here, too. Spinal Tap's manager dies, his widow inherits a contract with which the band owes them one more concert. So she threatens to sue unless they honor it, but they haven't been together in years, and there's a lot of bad blood they have to work through.
The adventure and hilarity begin.
Hope so, yeah.
All right, this story from Restaurant News. I'm always flipping through Restaurant News.
As you do.
This one says a man in England is the world's fastest pizza maker. Just received an award from Domino's after he made 3 large pizzas in 70 seconds. Received $3,000 in prize money, a trophy, and a championship belt.
He may be the fastest pizza maker, but is his pizza any good?
Yeah.
That's the question. Speaking of restaurants, Shake Shack is now teaming up with a fragrance company called Apothecary to create burger and fries candles. The burger one smells like a bite of Shack burger in the spring air. And the other one is shaken fries, which includes notes of a salty, crispy, crinkle-cut fry and a creamy, indulgent milkshake. They are available as a set for $42 at apothecaryco.com.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
It is.
You can't. Alfonso Ribeiro tells ABC he's done doing the Carlton dance. This is a sad day in our time. This quote here says, "What makes you think you're just going to ask a random person to dance for you and they're going to be like, oh my God, I've been waiting for you to ask. Hold on a second. Let me get into character." He said, no, I don't get it. It's not going to happen.
Man.
Says he's retiring the Carlton, so maybe just special occasions now.
I guess so, yeah. Now the new dramatic Bel Air is out on TV, so it's the time for the Carlton dance is past.
It's not all about the laughs anymore.
Exactly. Disney Plus. Disney had their earnings call the other day, and apparently Disney Plus added 8 million subscribers this quarter, which sounds like a lot. The company's still operating at a loss, which is kind of hard to believe. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of the case with all streaming services. I'm pretty sure all streaming services are operating at a loss and just try to keep that part on the down low.
What costs so much?
It sounds like just the actual cost of operating the service, I think, is what it is.
You got 8 million new subscribers and they're all paying $10 a pop.
Yep.
You're playing all your own videos and your own movies, and what are you paying so much?
I guess it's all the employees who have
that's
to
just
run
new
the service,
subscribers. That's not
advertising, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, that's what, $80 million. That's just
that's new subscribers. I mean, total Disney Plus has about 44 million in the U.S.
Oh, I don't understand how you can be at a loss.
Yeah, I think 200 plus million total for all of Disney's streaming services, which include Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. Not exactly sure how that happens, but they're at a loss of a little less than $1 billion.
Better check the books on this one.
Someone's messing with something there.
All right, a couple things that happened on this date. 1958, the trademark for Velcro was registered. This date, in 1994, Johnny Carson made his very last television appearance when he was on The Late Show with David Letterman.
Oh, wow.
A couple birthdays for your day, country birthdays. Got Morgan Wallen today, 29, and Darius Rucker, who we featured this morning with our Reason to Play It Again at 6:10.
Yes, we did.
Darius Rucker turns 56 today. There you go. Odds and ends for your Friday with 94.9 KISS FM.
This part of Smith and Nelson in the Morning brought to you by Hunter Bay Coffee, Montana's premium gourmet coffee roaster.
We brush our teeth.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM. Smith and Nelson in the morning. It is a Friday. That is good news in its own right. But how about some good news stories for your Friday?
Let's do it. Some good news stories. And a 75-year-old guy in Canada set a world record by becoming the oldest man to do a headstand.
Really?
Yes. That is
75.
That's very impressive. actually. I mean, I think about when I was a kid, I used to do headstands and cartwheels just like all the time because it was just easy to do. It was fun. And then at some point, I kind of stopped doing it as I got a little older. And now I look back and it's like, man, I don't think I could do it anymore.
My 7.5-year-old she's just hitting that phase where like she's into headstands and handstands and doing flips and cartwheels and stuff. And yeah, same thing. She'll be like, watch this, watch how long I can do a headstand. She'll do it, and I'll just be like, man, I can't imagine me trying to do that right now.
I feel I'd hurt myself like really bad,
But good for him, 75.
75.
Well done.
Oldest man to do a headstand. A 7-year-old runner named Talea Crawford lost her shoe at the beginning of a 200-meter race in Omaha. So the other kids got a 5-second head start. But then she put her shoe back on, beat him anyway.
Jeez.
Yeah, her dad is actually professional boxer Terrence Crawford, who's never lost in his career.
Okay.
So maybe winning just runs in the family.
It's in the genes, huh?
That could be it.
Wow. Pretty impressive, though, to just stop, put your shoe on.
Yes.
Okay, back on. Here we go. And then still win the race.
Put a little extra speed on there. But yeah, absolutely. 2 customers went to a sit-down pizza place in Rhode Island last week, spent $48, left their waitress a $810 tip.
Wow.
So that's pretty awesome. Love to see that.
I wonder why, why not 800? Wonder why it was 810. Like,
that's a good question.
It's not like they're, it's not like that made it a nice round number.
Right, yeah.
Added to their meal, it's $858.
I guess, yeah, that's also strange.
It's just kind of a weird number, but how cool is that?
That's great. And then a woman in Florida suffered a medical issue last week, actually passed out behind the wheel, and her car started drifting to a busy intersection. But a bunch of people jumped out of their own cars and worked together to stop it when they saw what was happening. One of them was the woman's coworker who happened to be at the same intersection. So she was the first person to notice her slumped over. Turned out the lady tried to pull over when she started feeling dizzy. She didn't wake up until the next day. But luckily, I believe she's okay now. But just all these people kind of jumping out there, helping the car kind of steer its way off the road.
I saw the video. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, there you go. For your Friday, some good news stories. It's 94.9 KISS FM.
Yep, this is your local country morning show. No bones about it. Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
I'm kicking.
Newsworthy nugget of the day with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
Brought to you by Farside Sign, Missoula's leading full-service sign and custom vehicle graphic shop. Farside Sign in the 2200 block of South Avenue West.
All right, let's learn a little something. That's what the nugget is all about. Try to give you just a little piece of information that hopefully isn't common knowledge for everyone.
Exactly, and this is, I think, a really interesting fact. It kind of puts so much into perspective. George Washington died in the year 1799. The first dinosaur fossil was found in 1824.
Wow.
And that means George Washington never knew that dinosaurs existed.
That's crazy.
Just weird to think about, right?
That is kind of funny.
Just odd, right?
Yeah. Wow.
All the founding fathers just didn't know that dinosaurs were around.
Man.
It's crazy. And if you think about it...
So what you're saying is the founding fathers were lazy. They never got a shovel out.
Yeah, they never did any archaeology.
Yeah, never did any digging in the backyard. Never found anything.
Never stumbled upon any dinosaur fossils. Yeah, but kind of just weird to think about. And
that
also, if you think about it, dinosaurs never knew about George Washington either.
That's also true. They're
So,
already gone, probably.
It's a two-way street. But there you go. Need to or not, now you know.
Unless there's like one little dinosaur left in existence, just like spying on George Washington from afar.
Right.
Thinking, he'll never know about us.